What else have we got? What else is going on?
Good news, everyone! Finally, after years of waiting, the agents of the Imperium have their own new datasheets.
Huzzah!
We can use Inquisitors and all their weird goons again. And all those other fantastical people who sit in the shadows of 40k and are some of my favourite things about the Imperium.
I love it.
They're super cool. Have you ever wanted to include like an inquisitorial retinue in your army, Tom?
All the time, man. I really like inquisitorial retinues. So can I want that old school squad again. I want the guy. I want him to have his like hired guns, the acolytes, the
book nerds,
Arabs, a weird astropath hanging out.
Yeah.
So can you do that?
No, you can't. You can have acolytes, which are just guardsmen in a unit of 1 to 6.
Ooh.
They can hang around with your Inquisitor.
Okay.
That's just as good as having a wacky brigade of like assistants, right?
So can you have a Inquisitor and a squad of acolytes join you?
No. You can take one unit from this book and stick it in your Imperial army for no penalties.
Right. What if you had 2 assassins?
No. So what you could do is you could take a whole army. Your entire army can be agents of the Inquisition.
Okay.
That's legal.
Right.
I mean, there's only like 4 different unit types.
Yeah.
But you could take nothing but rogue traders and assassins and inquisitors for like 2,000 points worth of stuff.
Okay.
Just have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of these guys.
Kind of weird, because normally you feel like they're attaching to someone else, right?
Yeah. In the lore, they might like a squad and a retinue and an inquisitor might turn up. So you kind of could do that.
Okay, perfect.
So you can have a single model or an entire army, but there's a little bit of middle ground. You can take an allied patrol detachment.
Okay, perfect. So yeah.
Okay.
So just take a guy and then like an inquisitor, some friends, and like some stormtroopers, right?
Well, the problem is, Tom, in this allied patrol detachment, you take your regular army from your like Arcs of Omen Giga detachment, and then you have this little patrol detachment. And the patrol detachment needs to have an HQ choice and a troops choice.
Okay, so just take an inquisitor and a troop. Easy. I've made an army list before, so I just take...
Unfortunately not, because there's only 2 troops choices in this document of like 50 million different units. All these inquisitors and assassins, they're all HQs and elites. Your troops choices are limited. You can have Imperial Navy breachers.
Those guys are cool. Take those.
Or Voidsmen at Arms.
Those guys are all right. Take those.
Okay, so you can take them, but both those units have a special rule that says unless your entire patrol detachment is Navis Imperialis...
What?
Then they can't fill the mandatory compulsory troop choice.
Okay, so can you have a HQ?
Well, there is one Navis Imperialis HQ choice, the Rogue Trader Captain, which would be great. You could take this HQ choice with the breachers and the armsmen, right?
Okay.
But actually, she has a special rule that means she can't fill the compulsory HQ choice either.
Wait, so how
So you
how do you field this?
You could take an Inquisitor. He's a HQ choice.
Right.
But he's not Navis Imperialis either.
Okay.
So if you take an Inquisitor, then your troops can't fill the troops slot.
Right.
So...
It doesn't work? How do you field it? I don't understand.
It says here you can have a patrol. Take a patrol. Allied patrol detachments.
I don't understand. How do you make your legal patrol? Legal patrol, HQ, 2 troops. I know those rules. Isn't that a patrol?
Yeah, well, 1 troop, actually.
Ooh, okay.
Patrol's a little.
Oh, even cheaper. 1 troop.
Yeah, I don't think you can, actually. How about we go back to the original plan? Whole army or 1 model? That's definitely legal. Can I interest you in a monkey?
Ooh, what does it even do?
You can have monkey or inquisitor. You can't have both.
What does taking the monkey do?
Monkey is 20 points, and he has 5 up invulnerable save, and he rolls a dice when he shoots.
Okay.
And either he gives the unit rerolls to hit, or he gives them rerolls to wound, or reroll to hit and wound.
Wow.
And his gun is either like a kind of shitty las cannon, or a kind of shitty multi-laser.
Okay.
He has 3 wounds.
How many points is he?
I think 20?
Wow.
I don't know.
That's
This
kind of
document also doesn't have any points values in it.
Come on.
So
How?
let me just break down what this document is, right? What they've done is they've taken all of the Inquisitorial and Agents of the Imperium units that were scattered across a few different documents, put them all in one PDF,
Right.
taken away all of their stratagems, warlord relics, and traits, and points values, and then made them so restrictive that you literally cannot field them in a legal army. That's what's happened.
Oh, fuck.
Real good. And inexplicably made the Eversaw Assassin -1 strength
Okay, great.
for balance. I should also point out, all of these units are shit for their points. This isn't like a games balance issue. They're not trying to restrict them because they're too powerful. These Inquisitorial Acolytes are 10 points a model. They cost as much as Kazakin, but they don't get any of the special weapons or armor or doctrines or regimental traits or any of that shit.
Okay.
They're just real fucking expensive guardsmen.
Why?
They have a special rule that lets them go in any transport they like.
Is there a way to power game that?
The one interesting thing I think about this whole thing is the rule that lets you take a single model in your army without taking up a slot.
Okay.
So technically, you could take a single acolyte with a pistol and a chainsword for 10 points, and he is just a unit and a character, and he can run around and do shit. For
That
10
seems
points.
very good.
He can go and like raise the banners or scan for Octarius data.
That seems crazy good.
He's just
Like,
a little objective boy.
just someone to be stood in the corner of your table. It holds a table quarter if you're playing a game. They can sit on an objective, hide them in cover, just a constant thorn in your side.
Because he's a character, if there's another unit that's nearer than him, you get the lookout sir thing. You
Oh,
can't target him because he's a character with less than 10 wounds.
that's crazy. Yeah, 10 points.
Just a 10-point nerd
That
can
feels...
do an action.
I would say that feels like an auto-include.
Yeah, I think any Imperial army should just always take the 10-point boy. Just bring Steve along.
Just your friend Steve.
Steve gets to come.
No, you went to college with him, and now Steve turns up. Yeah, like zones out deep strike. There's so many things
Yeah.
that they can do.
Oh.
Legally, now you'll have a little rat in the corner. Yeah,
Yeah.
just have a model rat.
Anything on a 25 mil base, effectively.
And-
And just say, that's Steve the Acolyte. He's here to help.
Yeah. Really fucking good.
So dumb.
I am.
Now we're going to have to wait another 2-3 years before they redo Imperial Agents again, I guess, because they get looked at once in an edition.
Oh, God.
This is it. This is our illegal...
It
piece of
sucks so
shit.
much.
I'm genuinely upset. Imperial Agents, one of my favorite sub-factions in the game. I've got a whole bunch converted up. They've got so much character and like modeling potential. There's so much you can do with them. And they have shit rules and are literally broken and cannot be fielded.
It feels like, geez, if they just tweaked that rule, the Varus Imperialis thing,
Yeah.
surely that just solves the problem.
Just let them fill the troops slot. It's this shipborne personnel rule.
Right.
That's
Yeah,
the
just
problem.
cut that out.
Or make the acolytes be troops. If they're in a unit of 5 or more models, they can
that
have the
thing.
troops choice. That would work too.
I think do that. Because also, surely they can bolt in the Arbites into this list as well.
Yeah, I'm sure they will when the Arbites come.
Also, why the fuck are they saying that you can take a squad of Kazakin? That used to be
Yes.
like classic.
Inquisitorial Stormtroopers. Just say Kazakin or Scions. One or the others. Just pick one of those and say you can use these, and you wipe all their keywords out and replace them with Inquisition keywords.
Bam.
And that's it.
And they're
easy
the group
peasy.
choices.
Yeah.
Let you bolt on the patrol. Mm-hmm.
'Cause they've gone out of their way to have really wordy, complicated rules for including them in your army.
God, it's classic.
And then they've just fucked it.
Classic Games Workshop. Ooh.
Yeah. It's so easy to fix. And yet, this is the third time they've done this. This is the third Inquisition data sheet in the last 5 years. And they've all been fucking shit and haven't worked.
Ugh. Is this just like a little prelude because they're going to actually release a book or something?
Then why bother with this?
They put this out so all the fucking nerds can just have a whinge, and then they're like, oh yeah, shit, we fucked up. We'll print this in like a year's time.
But these rules already existed in a different form.
There must be some logic to it, man. There has to be. It can't just all be chaos.
Oh, it makes me so annoyed. It's everything wrong with Games Workshop. There's no imagination, there's no joy, and it doesn't even fucking make sense and work legally. You've used 100 words to say nothing at all. Like, look at this fucking thing here. The actual rule that talks about the agent of the Imperial rule that lets you thing here. It's a long paragraph that's actually quite hard to read and make sense of. And why it doesn't need to be this overcomplicated, you know? I'm annoyed.
But also getting rid of all
their stratagems
for like the assassins.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't even like they were super good.
No. I mean, I'm hoping this means the new edition will have significantly less stratagems in it.
Yeah, if this is kind of future-proofing for the new edition, sure.
It must be, because the new edition's out this year.
Yeah. Petition to publish a totally unrelated Warhammer game where the rules are crowdsourced by a council of nerds. There is no way you get the council of nerds to agree.
No. I've been part of like communities like Epic and Blood Bowl where they have tried to keep the rules going after Games Workshop's let go and trying to get anything changed or approved.
I think Blood Bowl was the closest I saw it to working. But it was like a council of ents. Like, changes were slow. But, you know, they did make a couple of tweaks, which was good, but the game didn't really evolve for quite a long time.
No, it's like the sacred texts cannot be changed.
Which was fine. Which was like pretty okay. Because the game was already in a really solid place. And they just like nuanced a few bits and streamlined some parts. Where would you even begin with
oh god, yeah. Well, everyone's going to have
40K.
A completely different idea of how to fix it, right? And no one will agree.
Yeah. Yeah, like you would never get people to agree. And the playtesting and the balance between...
So everyone pull in a different direction.
Yeah. Oof.
Oh well. Oof.
Warmaster Revolutions. Yeah, I didn't really play... Well, we haven't played Warmaster in a long time, but I've heard like that's meant to be pretty good. But I think that's similar to like... Epic wasn't terrible.
Epic was great.
But I mean, like, you know, all the extra extended lists, some of those are those are fucking...
Yeah,
they're a bit wank.
And they weren't interested in genuinely fixing the one or two small problems with the game.
No, exactly.
They were very much like, this is the perfect game.
Like, there were core things that I would 100% have changed. But I think, you know, Epic, very simple stat line, very few keywords that apply to everything.
That's true. Statistically, a very streamlined game.
Very few like stats on your units, and only a few keywords that apply to things. Blood Bowl, very few statistics. Sure, you've got a lot of skills, but
they're not that complicated.
Very like easy to stick on stuff. Like Warhammer, how many different units?
Oh god, there's so many units, and each unit has 1 billion stats and 1 billion special rules. Like, it would be a nightmare, and no one's going to agree on what needs fixing.
So yeah,
shame.
Sometimes
these are all cool models with loads of potential. You could do some really fun stuff with this.
Yeah, Mega Chair.
Yeah,
love it.
Stomp, stomp, stomp. I might pick up Mega Chair at some point before it goes out of production. Like, I don't like this guy summons a demon host. That's like his special rule.
That's fun.
Don't even know if that's going to be allowed, because now you've got 2 models with the Agents of the Imperium keyword in your list once he summons it. Does that break all of your faction's special rules? Because
Oh, but you only included one. He included the other.
right, we're going to daisy chain it.
Yeah, that's fine. That's allowed.
Because this is like, oh yeah, if you have more than one Agent of the Imperium, you'll lose all your faction-specific special rules. I don't know. Who knows?
Oof.
Anyway, this is... I just got rant over. I think we should move on because I'm sad.
Okay.
Although we were talking about, the mandatory every Imperial player needs their own 10-point Steve. Have you got any thoughts on fun models for Steve?
Having like a goofy boy, I love the idea of, well, now, why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you take that 10-point guy? And having just like a random nerd. So there's a crooked dice. They make a bunch of cool sci-fi minis. Like...
I don't think I've seen these guys before. Oh, wow. It's actually smaller. Oh, I like Cthulhu Detective.
Cthulhu Detective. He's great.
He's fun.
They're just random boys.
Look at these guys. It's like a Ming the
Let me
Merciless.
zoom. God, why do you do this?
Your website sucks.
Alien Pet Merchant.
He could be fun.
He's kind of fun hanging out.
Yeah.
He'd kind of work in the Necromunders.
Oh, look at all his wacky pet friends.
Who are those guys from the Star Trek?
Oh, they're like tribbles.
Tribbles.
What is with these photos?
Just nightmare fuel.
Oh.
God, I feel like I was looking at some on like another website that was not just horrendous to be dealing with. They're kind of fun.
Yeah, frog guy. He could be your guy.
Although you can't really get away with that in your
Yeah, I suppose if you're Imperial, you kind
your
of have to
Imperial
be human,
army. Oh, they look pretty good. They make sense.
Yeah, that works.
Oh, those are guys. Those are guys I want.
Just box guy.
Random box guy. He's carrying around all your things.
Frog merchant. He's fun.
So like,
Just him.
just this guy. It's just Jeff.
Just have him walking around on your 40k battlefield,
Yeah, he's just hanging out,
scoring you objectives and shit.
just wandering around the place. Like he's absolutely perfect. That's the exact kind of vibe that I would be going for.
Just a space Tom or Ben.
Yeah. Have your Tom and Ben. Well, and or you can't.
You can't have both.
Like there's a guy just with a tank and someone with a pot.
Yeah, they work.
Just
Guy with stick.
this wacky explorer. Like they feel like they could just sort of be chilling with your team.
Yeah, why not? Oh, food guy?
Food guy. This.
Just have him walking around with your custodies or your...
Weird
Acme.
little goblin boy.
Oh, just with your knights. You've got your 5 Imperial knights.
Oh my god,
And that
yeah.
guy
They
hangs
have
around.
that 10-point thing that now holds objectives for them. God, that's insane. I didn't even think about Imperial Knights taking them. That's so strong.
They're bound to have 10 points left over, right? Like, I'm sure the
Yeah.
knights
Oh,
don't add up perfectly when you've only got 8 models in your army or whatever.
Yeah, easily. What the heck? But yeah, I think one of my red hot favorites was this guy.
He's pretty good.
Just-
The old Rolling Messiah.
Rolling Messiah is such a good name. Just have that guy just driving around with you. Street lawyer. Market inspector. Weird robot.
Robot Man, he could be there. Oh.
Just, I think they're all perfect. So yeah, get one of those. Sling them into your team
Yeah.
as
Do it. I think mandatory. Anyone with any Imperial army, just do it. Get your boy.
to get a 10-point pleb. God, they just will be so good in game.
For their points, for sure. Because especially now that you can't buy war gear for most armies, you're bound to just have 10 points you literally can't spend.
Yeah, and it just does so much work. Holding objectives,
Yep. Doing
breaking
actions,
maps, like
raising banners, all that stuff.
for 10 points. Wow.
Just get yourself a random servitor or something.
Yeah, just anything.